bench step-ups. It's quite an underrated exercise, and well, in terms of males doing it, but females, they do it a lot of the time. And of course, I'm going to touch on this exercise because every time I go into the gym, there is undoubtedly a female doing a bench step-up, but they could be getting so much more out of the exercise. So what do we see normally in the gym? I'm just going to do it body weight, because if you cannot do it body weight, you obviously have no place putting weights onto you. So I'm going to start with body weight just to give you guys an idea. Once you can obviously nail the fundamentals, then we progress with weights. But, you know, a common thing females do is a step up like this. Now, you might not understand why that's probably a bit shit, but I'll explain to you now. As you can see, we are trying to work the front leg. The leg that is planted on the bench, that is the working leg. But what do females do? What do people in general do? Is that they tend to bounce off the back leg. This back leg forces me up, and now the front leg's hardly getting any stimulation because I'm just bouncing off the back leg. I mean, I can hardly feel this front leg working. So what is the point of going to the gym, spending your time in the gym, and then, you know, the stimulus that you're trying to get is being completely ignored because you're bouncing through an exercise to make it easier for yourself. Maybe you're using weights that are too heavy, and you're just breezing through the exercise. I mean, if you're coming to the gym, guys, get the most out of your movements. So my advice to you is when you're doing a step up, always remember that the front leg, or the leg planted on the bench, is the leg you're trying to work. So make it hard. Make it as difficult as possible for this leg, because the more difficult you make it, the better stimulus you're going to get, the better response you're going to get in terms of strength gains, muscle gains, all kinds of things like that. So my suggestion is lean forward into this leg. That way I cannot bounce off the leg as much because I'm putting my weight displaced onto this front leg. One thing that I would suggest is that when you push off the back leg, because you do have to bring it forward, try not push onto your toe, because your toe is going to generate force for you to go up. A good thing is to try push with your heel flat, because if your heel's flat, you can't even push off that back leg. That back leg is being used more as just, you know, just as a stabilizer to keep you nice and stable so you don't fall over. So my suggestion is lean forward onto the front leg. You want that heel to still be in contact with the floor. Say I had weights, but we're doing body weights, and then you're driving up through that leg. Okay? So if I drive up through this leg, but I'm pushing off my toe, it is providing a little bit of assistance. So I say keep your heel on the floor. It's going to make sure you cannot drive off that back leg, and you're going to push forward, drive, nice and controlled. Also, big thing you need to focus on is when you're returning down. Don't just drop, because, as I've always said, the eccentric or lowering portion of a movement is providing a lot of stimulus. And if all you're going to do is step up and drop off, you're missing out on a huge portion of the movement. So, once you're up there, you're going to take a nice controlled eccentric. That is going to provide more stimulation, which means more results ultimately for you. But if all you're going to do is bounce off the back leg, drop, bounce off the back leg, drop, I mean, you're asking for yourself to get pretty poor results. So take these tips, really focus on making that front leg work as hard as possible and controlling every portion of the rep. So it's really important to control every portion of the movement. When you're going up, it's controlled and you're focusing on the leg that's supposed to be working. When you're coming down, it's controlled again to get more out of this movement. Guys, if you're going to be in the gym week after week, get the most out of your time in there. Make sure you're doing movements optimally and really focus on following these tips and applying them week after week. It's not that you can apply these tips once to your training session and you're going to see magical results. No. Getting results in the gym is about doing the exact right things again and again and again consistently. So use these tips to hopefully change your training and change your physique.